Hey guys, Galactic Marine 501 slash jexamwolfexia here, and this is part 2 of the big one, the astray blue frame. I'm actually going to do articulation with this review, because there are some key points of articulation. I'm actually going to take off the tactical arms. I'll get back to those. And sorry this review took so long. I broke my handle on my tactical arms, but I'll get into that later. I actually think I've made a new weapon almost with this by breaking it, because the handle looks like a knife. So I may find myself at some point just derp and use the handle as a knife. I don't know. But hey, so here's the blue frame. Now, with all of his extra equipment on his back taken off, this put down onto the... This back piece here is terrible. Now, it will come right... Okay, of course, you're going to stick now. But yeah, it will come right off. This peg is nothing. I find that it's easier to stick it into the peg that's one hole lower, there, than the peg that they tell you to, there. And then it'll stay much better. It won't be as accurate, but it'll stay in there. Now, this guy has awesome articulation. First off, the leg. I want to show you this leg bend. As you start to bend it, you see that armor splits there. That splits. The upper hip armor splits there. And then you get a bend. He can almost kick himself in the butt. Look at that. That's amazing. And as for leg going up, any of you guys who have seen promo pictures of this guy know about his kicking potential. And yeah, let me just say it is just as awesome as they said it was. Ooh. But it's kind of hard to get him prepped for that because of the fact that the parts do kind of not want to stick in the right places. And this skirt armor is attached in a very odd way in order to sort of help with that kicking action. But you can get that out of the way through some manipulating. Or you could take it off completely, which I'm going to do. And you can actually get him to kick all the way up. And then in the back of the foot, as you just kind of saw, he actually has an axe blade, which is kind of would pop out at this point, and then he would kick down into somebody with that axe blade. Now, he also has an awesome stomach joint to sort of use this. Here, I'm actually going to get a little further away from camera so I can undo the stomach joint. But you pull this, you wiggle it down, and then he's got forward and backward movement. And the leg just fell off. But yeah, it's awesome because he doesn't always have to have it. But yeah, with that stomach joint, you can get it to look a little more natural. Which is awesome that he can do that too. There. I got the legs back in. But anyway. Yeah. Now, aside from the awesome articulation in the legs, let me get the skirt reassembled here. Then I'll go on to the upper body. I'm not going to do like everything in terms of articulation because I, for one, think that's kind of boring. I mean, call me immature, but I kind of like to see the big shooty guns and stuff. Or the big stabby swords or whatever he comes with. But yeah. His ankles, he could break his ankles with this articulation. They go really far in and out. And he could do that this way too, to have an incredibly wide stance. And I have to say, the upper hip joints, they're kind of rigid up here, so it's hard to get them to the proper position. I don't know, I may have missed something in which these hips go in much further, but I'm not going to break it on camera. And yeah, that's one problem that I find. These arms don't like to stay in very well. And it's kind of because they're so slim and stuff that they couldn't really... Oh, hang on. There. Actually, I just popped them in a little further than I thought I could. And now I think they'll stay a little better. But, yeah, so... Because of this guy's awesome articulation, he also has a little bit of fall apart syndrome. Which, I mean, I can understand that. Now, I'm not going to nitpick on his fingers. They should be white. They could have done a dual coat injection there. Which they do with older kits. But I've heard it doesn't look terrific. Like, it can be imprecise. Like, Bionicle used to do that. And I can say firsthand that sometimes you'd get parts that didn't quite work out. Like, I remember one of my Bionicles, I believe it was Vakama, the insecty one. I don't know which one it was, what it was originally called, but where they had the spinner thingies on their back. But anyway, he had swords that had flames in them. Like, it was a sword and then there was a flame within it. Mine came... Like, the flames were a rubbery plastic, and then the swords were hard red plastic, and the flames were orange. Mine came, and, like, when I got it, the sword was 97% orange. Mine was just a terrible flaw. Like, the parts that were supposed to be red, about half of those were orange. Only the bottom of the handle was actually red. So, yeah. Lego, I mean, like, they're good about replacing parts like that, so they probably would have given me a new one if I had sent it in, but I don't know. Like, but just look at the back of that leg for a sec. That's awesome. Oh, and one of my favorite things about this guy, I'm probably not going to be able to get it on this camera. Look, he's got a spine back there. That's pretty awesome. But then if you look ever so slightly, gotta get this into just the right light. Let me get my mini light, actually. Where are you, mini light? Here we go. Really? Yeah, that's not helping at all. Crappy mini light. Okay. See if my alarm clock can help. Apparently not. But anyway. Yeah, it says MBF orb astray there. Gonna have to go full screen and then look at it with a magnifying lens. Just trust me, it's there. Actually, you know what? Check out Prime 92's review. She got it to show up really well in hers somehow. Maybe she color adjusted, which I have no idea how to do. Now, before I go any further, because I know I'm going to forget these, I just looked over at the box. You do get a little figure of Guy. Yep, that's his name. You get a sheet of extra stickers, both rub and decals, decals, or whatever you want to call them. And you get a stand connector. Now, I'm probably not going to use the rub transfers, because I hate rub transfers. I've been burned by rub transfers in the past. But I am going to use these probably, eventually. Because I do like those. And I'm actually still working on my 00 designer color with those special decals. Now I actually want to get the CeraVe and Keratin designer colors. Not the Arios. I'll get an Arios, one or the other. Probably the normal one, because I don't care as much about the Arios as I do about the CeraVe and the Keratin. But the Keratin, I want to get that one specifically. Because if you've seen the decals, it has special decals for every bit, and what that does is it makes it look like the bits sort of intertwine in sort of a circuit pattern, which is awesome. Now I've heard that you have to choose which bit has which sticker properly, or else they don't always interlock, but heck, it'll be cool anyway. I always thought that that would be awesome to have the bits have something where, like, maybe when they formed together it said Keratum or you missed. I've always wanted his shield, like, to have different letters on it, and then when the shield forms, just say you missed. That would be cool. But anyway, as you can see, he has no trouble touching his own shoulder. In fact, I had to move the hand sideways so I could bend it all the way. That's how awesome the bend is. Oh yeah, and look at the back of the arm on this bend. Watch this. You see, it splits back there and shows off more of the blue frame. Now, being a master grade, there is an inner frame. And the whole time building this, I'm like, where's all the gray inner frame? And I'm like, oh yeah, blue frame. I got it. Derp, got it. Yeah, but it's awesome. Simply awesome. There's nothing else I can say about this kit other than it's freaking awesome. I may actually get this special set of manipulators that has the painted fingers for the simple reason I want to paint this set blue. I know you're thinking, what? Why? For a special, like, maybe I'll display it this way at one point, but yeah, I gotta show you guys. I'll just do the frame removal, the outer frame removal on the head, because it's so awesome. You can literally strip this guy down. He's got an inner frame on his head. That is wild. I don't think I've ever had a model that has an inner head frame. Up there goes the neck piece. There. And then there. Just look at that. The fact that you can remove the frame on the head. The head says a lot about this guy. And now, where did this go again? Oh, sorry. Stupid timeout computer. Okay, but anyway, back to this guy. Sorry guys, this is going to be a terribly long review, but this guy totally deserves it. Just like Prime 92 said, he deserves a long review because he's got so much. And for what you're paying for him, this guy's definitely worth picking up. I don't care if you don't like the Astrays. Get either him or the red frame. The red frame has a lot of the same good points and is a little more well known. This guy, I have to say, he's got some other good points that the red frame doesn't. I, for one, like the head better. No. Oh, there is one set of weapons that you don't get with the red frame that this guy trumps it in. If you're in Japan, you could just order these 4 pieces and be totally good in terms of that weapon. But for us Americans and Canadians and anywhere else that's not Japan, this is a major selling point in blue frame versus red frame. I'm actually going to take the head off to reassemble it because it is kind of tedious. Sorry about this. I shouldn't have taken this head frame off. I'm an idiot. And you guys can judge me as such. Why don't I take the time to talk about this suit as a suit? I have to say I like the blue frame. Blue is my favorite color. I like the astray frames. I haven't read any of the manga, and I know it's stupid. Why do you like the astrays if you don't know what they are? And I like them because they're awesome. It's a unique concept, sort of like Power Rangers but Gundam. To have these suits that they have basically the same suit in many colors. The red frame, blue frame, green frame, gold frame, Mirage frame 1, 2, and 3 actually. They have the blue frame revised, which is what this is. The other frame, gold frame Amatsu. The Astray DSDD. Probably said those letters wrong. DSSD custom. The normal Astray, the Orb Astray, which... Oh no, wait, that's the Astray red frame. Okay, of course this fin fell off. The Orb Astray, which is just basically grunt suit variation of this guy. The Orb Astray with the flight pack, which is not compatible with the red frame. I checked, I tried, sadly it isn't. And I found my mini light. Let's try again with that text, just cuz. See if I can get it to show. Ah, this is murder here. Okay, I can't get it. Sorry. I really wish I could, because it's cool. Now, on to the next part. Okay, here's one. Now, the Strike Gundam is, I guess, known. I don't think it really is, but I'll give it that it's known for these. It had physical knives, the Armored Schneiders, but they were kind of like simple knives. This guy has Armored Schneiders as well, but his are freaking awesome. You can see them right there on the skirts, on the sides of the legs. Not on the skirts, they're actually ball jointed into the sides of the legs. This holster can go a lot of places and it's not coming out. Now you actually have to flip these knives out. They go in a very unique way as well. And they have pegs on the handles, but it doesn't need them. Like, they're small enough, and the way they go into the hand. Here, I'll put it into the hand off camera so you can see it. Here's a close-up of the knife. They're freaking awesome. I love these knives. They look amazing. I wish they made these in human size, because I would buy a pair just to have, because I like knives. But yeah, get this into the hand right, and just with these small weapons, you've got a ton of possibilities. Because the finger goes through that little gap, you don't need to have the peg in at all. However, if you want to get them perfectly into the hand, you can do that as well. However, doing that with the pointer finger and the peg is kind of difficult. But there, I got it on the first try, of course, because this is a review, and kids always like to be on their best behaviors for reviews. But like to tantrum and stuff all the other times. You're trying to pose them. Yeah, there we go. The knives are freaking awesome. Definitely worth picking one of these guys up. They both have them. This guy is the one that's supposed to use them. However, you can use them with the other one. Really a matter of preference. I'm going to use the swords with the red frame when I get it. And I definitely am getting the red frame for the simple reason that now I kind of am obligated to, because I needed to fix my blue frame. Because I'm an idiot and I broke it. But yeah, so aside from those awesome knives, for equipment, he's got this thing. I don't know what it's called, but it pops onto his butt right here. And it's got these wings. Those are just wings for now. They fall out all the time, but there's a reason they fall out. Let's get to, in terms of weapons, why you get this guy. The tactical arms. Now, the tactical arms are also the reason that this guy gets his own action base. Right here. I'll pan the camera down. And that's because he's got this hole on the back and it comes with a special connector. And with that special connector, you could just peg that in. This isn't the proper connector. I lost the proper one. But I'm not going to use this in this form anyway. Now, this thing has many forms. This is flight form. Now, you can also convert it into Gatling gun form. And pull this handle, this secondary handle down, like that. Spin this up. Pull these out, these little bits here. Push the fins in. And then turn these wings down and like that. Then pull these pieces out. Click them out. Are these out? No, yeah, they're out. And then click them in like this to make a stand for it. Like this. I'll do the other one off like at a comfortable angle. There. Then like that. You got this part here. And then he holds it like this and daka 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 shoots people. Now, for the red frame, you get the machine gun, but the other part to make the bow and stuff attaches there. And it's easy enough just to pop that one in. Gatling gun. Pop it out, pop in the other one, bow. Same with the handle. Pop this out. Handle. Normal handle. Pop the beam torch in. Gun. Extra gun. I really wish the beam torch was included with this guy because he really lacks in firepower. Now he may have four what are they called? Vulcans on his face. I can't really tell. But yeah. Now, these modes are not really for this guy. Most of them are for the red frame. But I could show you how to do them. Or relatively, I don't really remember. I'm just sort of trying to remember how to do these and do it at the same time. Now, here's the red frame's V form or something, I guess. The red frame has its tactical arms attached to its back like this. Show you how that looks. Like this. Or something. And it also attaches them to its back. I'll bring him forward so he's on normal ground. Repose the legs so he can stand there. Oh, I actually forgot one weapon that's on him. I'll get to that in a minute. And then the last way that he has them is he can do this with them. Like so. And there's also a way to turn this into a giant claw, like Kyrios. But I don't know how to do that, so whatever. But yeah, you can also have him with on his back like this. That's another one of the red frames forms. Now, let's get on to the other ones of the blue frames forms. If you look, fold these pieces up like this, out, and then lock them in at the end. And this is going to be the Buster Sword form, the most well-known and most, I guess, awesome. I actually do think that this looks awesome form. Sandwich this together like so. There, you got that. Pull these little bits out on the sides like so. Got sort of the hilt. Turn this to the side like so. You got the handle. And now it actually has another hole to hold it in Buster Sword form, but that broke off. Here's the end of the sword, and here's what it would have looked like relatively. But it's not all bad. There's what the handle would have looked like. And try to hold it a little differently. There. But it's not all bad. He could still hold this with the upper peg, meant for the Gatling gun mode, but still, it works. Just lock that peg in. Gotta find it. There. Almost got it. Well, anyway, just take my word for it. He could still hold it with this upper peg, I believe. I did it once. Now I want to do it just so I know it can be done. Ah, I know how I did it. There. Peg it. Oh, I would detach the handle to do it if you're gonna use this peg. Peg this bit in. Maneuver it down. This hole wasn't terrific anyway, so yeah, but there. Almost. Yeah, he still can hold it, but it requires the action base to do perfectly. Oh yeah, I forgot. That hand is really sort of gimp with the sword. This hole, for some stupid reason. Yeah, there. You can see he can hold it with no problem. His fingers aren't even wrapped around it, and he's already holding it. There's no problem if you break that bottom part off, and you almost get a free weapon out of it. Here, I call it the beam Zector, or the heat Zector, because it reminds me of the Buzz Zector from Kamen Rider. Don't know why it does, but it does. But yeah, gotta say, it sort of adds to the pocket knife feel of this guy, to have another sort of more upgraded pocket knife. I don't know. Maybe that's just me trying to compensate for my losses, but hey. I could dream that nobody noticed how much of an idiot I am. Now, this guy arguably has 2 more forms with this thing. And those require you to rip these pieces off. Now, I'm going to toss these to the side for a second. Go back to the gun. Now, I'm going to say that this is a form, but it's really just the residue from another form that you can do the same Gatling gun transformation as before and have him fire a much more reasonably sized Gatling gun. You can also have him maybe hold it underhand in this mode for some reason. I don't know if you want to. Oh, actually, I forgot something with the Gatling gun form. Whoa. Oh, look at these wings back here. You remember these? Yeah, pull those off for the Gatling gun and lock them onto the Gatling gun. Like so. To make ammo clips. Those are cool, I guess. I don't know. No ammo molded in. No, well. I honestly try to leave these on the back as much as I can so they don't get loose and fall out all the time. Like I've heard they do. From who do you think? Prime 92. But yeah. I love how a while ago I was dissing Prime 92 about breaking so many of her models. My past 2 master grades I've broken parts on. Then again, one was just me being stupid and losing a part. But whatever. But yeah, so anyway, you can also hook that to his back just to have a smaller, actually sort of reasonably sized and reasonably standable. He could stand with that on his back easily. Flight pack. Now, there's one last form for these, and it is freaking amazing. You're going to need the blue frame, and what you do is you put his arm like this, and you pop out this little peg down here. You pop out this handle, and then you bring in the amazingly cool pink triangle blades. Now you shove those into these, And you get the beam arms. Or no, not beam arms. Here, I'll actually get the manual to tell you what they're actually called. Sword arms. And let's see, what is flight form Gatling arm? Oh, the Gatling arm is what the stripped down Gatling gun is called. When you take off the sword arms, it's called the Gatling arm. As just a side note. Maybe because he can wield it with one hand in that form or something. I don't know. That'd be cool, though. Being able to rip it off of his back and just be like, yeah, boom. Daka, 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 haha. Sorry, keeps going out. I'm an idiot. My computer is too, apparently. And, so yeah, get both sword arms transformed. And you can stick them into the pegs in the hands. No problem here. Duh. You don't even need to really peg them into his hands, because you peg them into the bottoms of the arms. That's where the real connection comes from. And once you get that peg in there, it's not going anywhere. And you can actually, like, just sort of rest the handles in his hands. And there we go. He's got blade arms. Those are so cool. And then you can pull the oldest. I'll just pop the leg off for this. Ah. Sorry, I had a bit of tomato skin stuck to the inside of my tooth. Couldn't talk. But anyway, you can pull the oldest pirate slash ninja trick in the book and have blades emerge from his toes. And axe blades from his heels, as I showed earlier. But still, tell me that's not the most weaponized foot you've ever seen. 2 blades and 1 foot. This guy actually makes me want to have a Crossbone Gundam full cloth. I've wanted a Crossbone Gundam full cloth for a while now, just for the sheer bulk of weapons that it comes with. But yeah, this guy makes me want one even more. Now the way I'm going to be displaying this guy is definitely like this. And I may even include the action base to hold him a little more stationary. Like just as a mount on the back to give him a little more, I guess, lever. Counterbalance, to counterbalance him. But I find you can get him into a good leg connector. It's highly likely that I probably did just screw up on the way I connected these legs, and that's why mine are so loose, but yeah, get the ankles positioned, and you can get this guy into some amazing poses, like so. And that's actually a crappy, just 2-minute pose. I actually lost a wing right now. No, I'll find it. Now, just to reiterate, you do get an action base in blue. You do not get... You do not get Mir's Haro. Crap. You do not get Mir's Haro. You do not get the Gundam Age 1 Spallo. But you do get these. And if you're deciding between red frame and blue frame and have no real bias towards either suit, like in terms of just the suit, the real bias is that it comes down to is the red frame comes with the bow form and that bit in the middle, the beam torch gun, which this guy could use a handheld gun. Whereas the blue frame has these beam parts. That's the difference. Outside of the mold differences, the blue frame has different shoulders and a different head. Oh, and the red frame has the katanas. So if you want katanas, go with the red frame. If you want beam arm effect parts, go with the blue frame. I'm definitely glad I got this guy. And yeah, so this has been Galactic Marine 501 / jexamwolfexia, and I will see you guys at the next review. And actually, sort of, oh crap. I found the other little wing piece, and of course that's going to fall off again. So I've decided, for the sake of the next review, I will just put this guy here for now, in this awesome pose, and get ready for the next review. Okay, so yeah, sorry guys, hopefully some of you are still watching.